I just spent some time basically overhauling my desk setup with my partner. So, shout out. Let's get into it. So here is the productivity desk setup. I'm sorry if the lighting is kind of off. I would open my blinds to get some sunlight in, but the mechanism broke. So this is the best I can do right now. I'll probably just move left to right, beginning down here. This is my desktop PC. I built it back in like 2018, so the parts are pretty old. And then over here I have my pencil case. I showed this in a video a little while ago. This is just from Officeworks. Lol. And then I've got just a couple cheaper pens in here, and then in here I have all my main writing utensils. So I have this tool pen from a shop in the city. This is just a whiteout and an eraser here. I have a Waterman fountain pen. This is an Allure, if I remember correctly. And then I have this Mars Technico as well. This I got for Christmas last year. It's super nice. It's like a 2mm lead. And the lead lasts ages, well, at least for me. And then the most recent addition to this is a Rotring 800. So this I got for Christmas, just the most recent Christmas that came by. It's super nice, writes really quite well. The mechanism is a bit funky at times, but I haven't really run into any issues with it. And then this is just some lead sharpener for the 2mm Mars Technico that I got off Amazon. It just looks hell nice, so for like $10 I thought it couldn't go wrong. Then over here I've got my, this is just a general working out notebook, so this is what I use for solving problems and stuff. Well, I'm not actually in uni at the moment, the semester starts in February, but I wanted to get my desk ready to go. This is an Onyx Books Palmer. I have yet to make a review of it, but I'm really quite enjoying it. I can't make a comparison to something like the Hisense Touch or A9 because I haven't used one, but I plan to pick one up at some point. Then over here I just have my general setup. I've got these labeled and categorized into just different items. And actually in here is the flip phone that I also was supposed to make a video about but haven't yet. This is the Opel Mobile Touch Flip, which is what I'll use during uni instead of a smartphone on campus, just to keep me focused and make it as easy as possible to ignore distractions. This is my laptop. It's an Acer Aspire 3 running Linux. It's not on right now, but works great. Added in an extra 16 gigs of RAM, and I can add an extra hard drive basically when I have money for a hard drive. Then this is obviously the PC. Surprise, surprise, I use Doom Emacs. Who could have seen that coming? And even more of a surprise, I use Org Roam, which I just recently set up basically yesterday. But this is a system that I looked up, researched after seeing it in a jvscholz video, and thought it looked really nice and could work really well for my upcoming semester. So I basically have just gotten it ready for the upcoming semester, and yeah, I'm pretty excited to get using it. I believe jkwon talked about this also briefly in a video coming up. So yeah, I'm going to have basically, I've got my 2 degrees, psychology and software engineering, and then for each unit I'll have a node, and then in each unit node, every lecture topic will have its own node, and all the ideas from that will branch out. And I thought this would be a really useful way to link between books that I read and psychology and software engineering, and also potentially any other links that I see coming up. So I'm pretty excited about that. And also the ability to link my to-do list to like lectures and stuff, I think will be really helpful in staying on top of my workflow. So I'm pretty excited to start using this. The keyboard is a Keychron K10 Pro. I got it from just a local PLE Computers. It works really well. I really love how it types. For programming, I find it really helpful. It's a bunch of cat hair, sorry. And then this is just a model BRZ, like one of the new ones that I found. It came up for $5 and I thought it was sick, so picked it up with a bunch of like trinkets and stuff there that my girlfriend gave me, and then the hippos from my mom. Yeah, then I've got some books just down here. I've read these books. They're more here for, I got this clock from Officeworks recently. I like the ability to see the temperature trend over the last 12 hours. And yeah, that's pretty much the rest of the setup. I've got my general writing notebook and journal back here, and then I have my nice pen that I use for signing documents and stuff here. So that is the desk setup. I also do have like a entertainment setup on the other side of the room. I'll just briefly go over that. Basically, I'm trying to keep entertainment and study separately. I used to have them on the same desk, but I found that it can lead to distractions pretty easily. So I'll just go over that quickly. I obviously can't separate them completely from the desk because my computer that I use for studying is the same one that I use for playing Counter-Strike with the boys. So in that case, I have a separate mouse and keyboard. So I put down a specific mouse mat and use a specific mouse, which is a Razer Death Adder Essential I got for like $30 on Amazon on sale. And then a Razer Ornata Chroma V2 that I've had for like 8 years or something. It's a bit messed up, but it works fine for CS. So that's what I use to differentiate between like this setup and that for gaming. Yeah, it's not super ideal because it's not on a different location, but I feel the difference in interface is enough for me to create that psychological disconnection between the computer being used for gaming and the computer being used for studying. This is the like media entertainment desk. I've got my PS5 and the setup here. During the uni semester, the PS5 will not be in the room. It'll be locked away and I essentially won't use it unless it's the holidays, but because it's still the holidays, I've got it ready for when my partner's over and stuff. This is a Lennox CD114, tape player, CD player, vinyl turntable, and has Bluetooth capabilities. By no means is it audiophile, it's pretty terrible, but I usually just use it for playing some new Jabez cassettes. I have one specifically for studying, and because it's more on as background noise in that scenario, I am not super fussed about the quality of the recordings of the tapes or the quality of the playback. The CD does skip a little, but there's not much I can do about that. I might just get into the workflow a little bit on the computer, like record some screen recording and stuff. Oh yeah, and there's the whiteboard. I forgot to show. Whoops, I'm in the frame. Yeah, alright, I'm gonna start going through the workflow on my computer. Sweet. I'll set the camera up too, so that it's not just a screen recording. I know. So basically I've got Doom Emacs set up on both my laptop and my PC, as well as on my phone and my Books Palmer. All of those are sunk automatically using SyncThing. So my server is like the main hub for SyncThing, and then everything else follows from that and also uploads changes to the server from that. It makes it really easy, and it means I don't have to rely on services like OneDrive or Google Drive. And I've never really run into any issues with it. I know it says failed items on GitHub, but I promise that there's nothing wrong. This is a super easy way to manage file syncing. If you're wanting to set up your own file syncing and not rely on OneDrive or anything like that, then definitely have a look at SyncThing. Last semester I used Doom Emacs with org mode to take notes. So here is the notes for all of one of the psych units I had last semester. I found it really easy to take notes in Emacs after sort of getting used to it a little bit. Whoops. It does take a bit of practice, I suppose. If you're not studying CS, maybe it's not the best choice. It might be better to use something like Notion or OneDrive or whatever, OneNote or whatever works for you. But for me, I found this really helpful. And then because org has the ability to export straight to HTML, I would export those to HTML and store those on my website at the computer club at uni. This way I could very easily access my notes on my phone or on my e-reader. I just found it really easy to have sort of a central hub like this. And it also made it easy to study with friends. I could give them the link to my notes. They could test me on my own notes. So I found that really helpful. But this semester, I'm planning on using a slightly different system. So I'm going to be using org Roam, which you probably have seen in one or two certain YouTubers' videos, i.e. jkwon, I think that's how you pronounce it, I'm really sorry if it's not, and jvscholz. No way. Computer science student using Doom Emacs with the same aesthetic as jvscholz. Who could have seen that coming? I have set up nodes for each degree that I'm pursuing, so one in psychology and one in software engineering. And then I have set up separate nodes for each of the units related to it. So the reason there's a lot more in psychology is because the psychology part of my degree is most of the first few years. And then after this year, it'll be basically all software engineering for 2 years. It does look a little dead. I promise I am studying software engineering. I've got my units coming up in preparation. You can see some stuff is linked, like cognitive psych is linked to cognitive neuroscience, and it's probably obvious why. I'm basically planning on, for the new units that I'm using this system on, so that is the units with a 3 at the start in psychology, I will create a node for each lecture subject. Say I have a lecture focusing on cognitive psychology in a social context. I'll have one node for that, and then all of the ideas will come off of that node. And that way I can link different nodes and ideas, but also different lectures and ideas, units, books that I read, etc., whatever it may be. And I also just really like how this looks. I'm planning to use it to study by trying to redraw the nodes of the map, sort of as a mind map, and combining that with the use of flashcards, especially for psychology, I feel like could be a very powerful system for studying and preparing for the exams. So I'm pretty excited to get started on that. As for how the server works, I basically just have another computer in my room, in my cupboard. It's just connected to Ethernet and power. And I can use Wake on LAN to turn it on when I need. And it syncs files. It can run other programs for me in the background. Say if I'm testing a Python program, I can run that for me in the background, or web scraping or whatever. It's been super, super useful since I set it up about 1.5 years ago, I think. I've only really had one issue with it, and that was just when I was setting it up. I misconfigured it, so I had to reset it. But yeah, it's been, honestly, I'm so happy with it. It's just been amazing. Highly recommend setting up your own server. It doesn't have to be good hardware too. The hardware that's on that is like 20 years old probably. It's probably from when I was born. It's my mum's old PC that she used to use, and then the hard drives are just wiped old hard drives that we had lying around. It's not worth more than like $30, I'd say. Highly recommend setting up your own server, even just for practicing Linux as well. If you're doing software engineering, super, super helpful. I'm trying to think, is there anything else I need to go over in terms of my workflow? Pretty much everything is synchronized on org Roam, so there's not that much else I need to do. Obviously for working out on paper, I've got just like this big notebook which I was using for maths last semester. I'm doing a physics unit this semester, so I'll likely be using that for that. And then I also have this grey notebook which I would practice my maths and stuff in. So that's all stuff I'll probably go over in my everyday carry video when I make it, but I can't make it right now because I haven't created my EDC for 2025 yet, so I can't make an EDC 2025 video quite yet. I think that's pretty much everything. As for upcoming videos, I do need to make those reviews on the Palmer. Now that the Palmer 2 is out, maybe it's too late. And I need to make the review on the flip phone too. I was planning on getting a 903KC, but I'm not sure if it will work in Australia now with the telecom restrictions, so I need to do more research into that. Yeah, I can't think of anything else to add to the video. Cool. See you in the next video. Oh, and streams will be coming back. They will be starting again after the semester starts. I don't stream during the holidays. I'm still working and stuff. Like there's a couple other projects that I'm working on with a mate of mine. I don't stream during them just because the nature of it is not quite consistent. So I can't really keep a consistent stream schedule or anything. Those old VODs are up if anyone wants to use them. That's it for now. See you later.